We just heard this week about another tragedy offshore with Transocean's rig, Deepwater Horizon. Prayers and thoughts are with the folks who are out there, their families, the people who at this point still don't even know whether their loved ones are dead or alive. We're going to wait, and everybody should wait, until the Coast Guard, the Mineral Management Service, and the other authorities do their investigation about why this happened and why these men, why their families were put through this. What we do know from dealing with cases like the Chet Morrison disaster, which was another explosion that killed several men, injured dozens, is that all too often the decisions and what happens to those men is determined by folks sitting in offices on shore about the safety measures, the equipment they're going to use, what hazards they're going to ignore, what they're going to tell the men about offshore. And all too often those decisions are made because of financial reasons rather than the safety of the men offshore. And while the facts remain to be fully developed in this case, it's pretty clear that far too many times offshore, many of the employers, many of the operators end up making decisions that put the men out there in an already rough job at unnecessary risk. And we're waiting to see all the facts for these families, because one thing we're also aware of is these companies are almost certainly already filing their own lawsuit called a limitation of liability to try and put forward their case, to try and put these folks in a lawsuit whether they want it or not from the get-go. And what people find out after the fact is their employer, the companies involved, they're already meeting with their lawyers, with their insurance adjusters, with their risk managers about what they're going to do to limit their responsibility and liability. And it's not till weeks or even months later that people who expect and believe they can trust and talk to and rely upon who they're working for, who they're doing the job for, find out that when something like this happens, they're all alone.